Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Psycho Gold and this is Psycho Gold Videos. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say, if you're on my Patreon or my Discord, then you already know this, but if you don't, I have actually not been particularly well these past few days, and that is why, you haven't seen me doing many streams, and you haven't seen me, doing any new reactions, and because of the way I film stuff here on YouTube, you haven't really got to the videos that I've been making when I started feeling ill. This video is going out the same day I'm recording it, which you'll get to see in a minute, but yeah, eventually YouTube will catch up to what I've been recording these past couple of days, because what I record and when I put them out and I edit them, there's usually several days in between. So I just want to say, when you get there, I won't really mention it, but I've had an allergic reaction to something, which is why my face looks red and blotchy, and I apologize for that. It might not look that bad in the finished video, because once the compression gets done with it, it doesn't always look as bad, but to me, I'm like really self-conscious about being on camera right now, so yeah. I also managed to get some kind of an infection, which has really drained me of my energy. I have literally not been able to do anything for like 3 days now, and it's driven me mad because I had so many plans for reactions, for reading, for gaming, and I haven't been able to do any of it. So last night we went out for the first time, me and my partner, and we had a good night out in the harbour. The harbour air did me some good. My voice is still not 100%, as you can probably hear, but it does get a bit better the more I use it, so I've just decided that I'm going to try and get some recordings done anyway, but I apologize in advance if, you know, this isn't quite as good as I normally do. Plus, it's a Tuesday, which means Overlord is going to come out later, and there's no way I'm missing Overlord, so don't worry guys, Overlord is coming out later this evening. And in fact, today will be the first day since Season 3 started that I'll actually be able to post Overlord within reasonable time of the episode being online, because I'm not actually going out this afternoon. I don't have my Tuesday meetings anymore, at least for the next couple of weeks, so fingers crossed we can do the next 2 episodes, and I'll actually be able to do them pretty quick. I also believe that we're going to be doing a live stream tonight, and I know how much you guys love that, so please come along if you want to see myself, DeeBeeGeek, Anime Panda, possibly somebody else as well, but I don't know if they're free, and we'll all be talking about the last couple episodes of Overlord since we last did a live stream, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But now that I've got the infomercial out the way, this episode is a reaction to something that I didn't know how much I wanted. This is apparently an anime version of a trailer for Star Wars A New Hope. Now, I saw a couple seconds worth of footage through the power of Facebook, and I was like, I need to see the rest of this. So I decided I was going to do a reaction video to this. The last Star Wars anime thing I watched was the TIE Fighter short, which I imagine most of you have seen. Now, I very much doubt it's going to be on the same style of animation, because that TIE Fighter trailer took years to make, and my hats are off to that guy, man. I mean, that animation was ridiculously detailed. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into this, and then we're going to talk about it afterwards. So, Star Wars A New Hope anime style. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, that's cool. Like, instant... Oh, it's in Japanese as well. Okay. Oh, that would be interesting. I'd so watch this, if this was a thing. Oh, I'm loving the retro style that he's got going. Oh, that's C-3PO. Oh, very nice. Yeah, the aliens would look so much better in animation. Oh, that Chewie looked like he had a mustache. Oh, Tarkin Vader and the Stormtroopers, they looked awesome. Oh, he sounds so cool in Japanese. I mean, is this taken from, like, the Japanese dub of the Star Wars film? It certainly sounds like it. Yeah, because you can hear the slight ambient noise whenever they talk. Oh yeah, typical old man Japanese voice for Obi-Wan. Oh, this is so cool! Chewie does have a mustache, okay. Han Solo looking on point there. I find your lack of faith disturbing. Han Solo doesn't look quite right, but he still looks pretty good. Yeah! Always. Okay. Someone get a Kickstarter going. We need this. Star Wars anime version. I would be so behind that. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Star Wars A New Hope trailer, but done in anime style. And it was definitely a retro anime style. Definitely looked like it could have been made in the 80s or the 70s. And I have absolutely no problem with that. I love that particular style of anime. There were so many shots there that I thought that they did such a good job on, man. Props off to that team. Please, please, please go and check out the official version, and the link will be down in the description below. At the time of watching this, it has nearly 500,000 views. I have no doubt that it's going to hit 1 million, or at least get damn close. I mean, it hasn't been out that long, so give it a week or two and I reckon it'll get there, but wow. Whoever done the drawings are insanely talented. Some of the animations, you could tell they were a bit, they didn't have as many frames in there that they needed to have in order to make it smooth, but at the same time, some of the aliens especially, like Jabba, was so detailed, man. I did not expect that at all. The fight sequence between Vader and Obi-Wan was just incredible. Seeing Vader and the Stormtroopers boarding Leia's ship and reenacting some of those scenes. I mean, the face of Tarkin was just... You know, I was just sat there like, oh, why is this not real? Why is this fan-made? Why can't this be a thing? Someone get Disney on the phone! I'm sure it'll go down better than whatever crap we get for episode 9. In all seriousness though, that was absolutely fantastic. The backgrounds looked incredible, the design of the creatures and the design of the faces being shifted into anime looked spot on. If that was a series or a film, I would totally watch that. I mean, an anime Star Wars film is just begging to be made, right? I mean, can you imagine the lightsaber duels but done by animators from Japan, or people like these fine folks who know how to do the style? And I mean, come on, it's just perfect. I mean, Star Wars Jedi are essentially samurai anyway. You know, Mark Hamill himself said that most of the early stuff was based on samurai fighting style, which any other time of day I could tell you the name of that style without blinking my eyes, but my brain is just fried. Oh.
6.5 hours later.
Kendo! Mark Hamill himself said that it was based on Kendo, and he actually went and learnt Kendo, and Kenjutsu, and Aido, of which I'm not sure how to pronounce, so I apologize if I've completely butchered that. But, yeah, he put a lot of work into accurately representing the fighting styles of what they wanted, and it really annoys me when people complain about the fighting of the lightsaber duels in the original trilogy, because, yeah, the fight scene between Alec Guinness and David Prowse in A New Hope, yeah, fair enough, that one's a bit dated, but it's still enjoyable. And what you have to remember is, it wasn't that they didn't have the ability to make better fight sequences back then. Like, just watch Empire Strikes Back when Luke fights Vader, and it's infinitely better, but the reason why it loses some of the weight as opposed to when you watch the behind the scenes choreography and it looks freaking dangerous, which is what it's supposed to look like. The lightsabers that they were using so that they could paint the effects onto the frames, which is another thing people forget, is the original effects were all painted on by hand. They couldn't actually connect because they were so fragile they'd break. So they were having to swing at each other, but stop before they actually connected their swords, and they had to make sure that they didn't, you know, accidentally hit each other because they'd have probably just shattered. And with all of that said, if you go and watch any of the documentary stuff where they fight with actual kendo sticks, Alec and David, they don't really hold back, and neither does Mark Hamill or any of the other people who were involved. They properly go. So I think seeing any kind of rendition of that scene in animation, you know, Vader himself has a much more clear fighting style. Just look at Rebels, or yeah, Rebels is a great example of how they clearly want him to fight. And you look at the end of Rogue One, and if you were to translate that into anime, I mean, that would just look fantastic. Think of the stylized shots you could do of Vader cutting through the Rebels, or the way Obi-Wan and Vader could have a confrontation with flashbacks back to their confrontation in Revenge of the Sith. There's so many things you could do now that the story of 1 to 6 is complete, that if you were to actually do a animated version of the original trilogy, I don't want a live action remake because that would just be sacrilege, and the fandom would destroy it before it even got going. But if you did an animated version or a CGI version or anything, but this anime version could definitely work. Instead of doing a shot-for-shot remake, you could actually make the scenes more impactful. I mean, seeing Obi-Wan and Vader fight each other whilst remembering how their last confrontation went, whilst thinking about what they've had to do in their lives, Obi-Wan thinking about sacrificing himself so that Luke can escape. It would just be absolutely incredible, and the fact that this guy's animation has managed to get me thinking about that is just incredible, dude. I mean, the space shots as well look absolutely fantastic. Seeing the space battles done in anime style, I mean, everybody's seen what anime can do with giant space fights. I mean, there's so many of them out there where, you know, Gundam especially comes to mind, and you can just imagine that being done in TIE Fighter and X-Wing form. And like I say, the TIE Fighter anime short that is out there on YouTube as well. Not that I think they'd ever do it that detailed, but that just, you know, imagine the two films combined into one, essentially. Just be incredible. Anyway, guys, I've rambled enough, and my voice is beginning to get very sore, so I'm going to leave you at that. Don't forget to go and throw the views his way, because, like I say, they deserve all the views. I'm so blown away by the power of their animation and their editing. Well done to that particular team. Go and drop them thumbs up. Tell them that Psycho Gold sent you. If you enjoyed my reaction and my thoughts, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below on this video, letting me know what you thought of it, because I would love to talk to you about Star Wars anime, Star Wars animation. You know, I could easily talk all day about Star Wars, and as you know, I'm a huge fan of anime, so seeing the two brought together is just, oh yeah. But that's going to be it from me, guys. If you're new around here, click subscribe, hit the bell, all the things that you have to do on YouTube channels these days, and all of those good things that every other decent YouTuber out there has a great segment for, but I don't. So, as always, guys, I am Psycho Gold, and I will see you in my next video, which will probably be later today for Overlord. This is Psycho Gold, signing out.